6-6 TV. Raptors starting their West Coast trip today, Kevin. 3 straight losses. Haven't had this, I think, till maybe December. I think it happened last time. But yeah, not a good way. Always a tough game going into that kind of altitude and really testing yourself at those levels. Tell me what you saw in the game, man.
Yeah, you make a good point. I mean, traveling to Denver's never easy. I mean, it was a good game for OG. I mean, he hit his career high, but I think it's somewhat of a problem when he's your leading scorer. I'm not taking anything away from what he did this game. Again, he had a great game. Siakam to shoot 26%, like he can't do that. Granted, maybe he's getting a little tired. I'm not sure what it is, but the last couple games from him have been a little iffy for me. But I mean, they were in the game for the most part, for the better part of the game. Didn't like the first quarter. To give up 40 points to any team shouldn't happen. So there's a lack of defense there. But I mean, these things happen. They've been a good team all year, battle through injuries. So I mean, it is what it is. Don't take anything away. Denver's coming up to be second place now. Depending on what the Clips do, they're tied. So let's not take anything away. They played a good team and they lost.
Yeah, really, really tough when you have no big man. I mean, Boucher is the biggest guy they got. He's not really a big man. He's no match for Jokic. That's for sure. OG, gotta talk about him, man. Great game. I think he had 7 steals along to go with his 32 points. I think it was perfect at the free throw line. Want to see more and more of this. We've talked at great length as to what kind of impact he can bring to the overall team if he produces offensively like this. So yeah, massive game for him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've talked about him a lot, and it's something that we'd have to see him be more consistent. I mean, these games are great to see what he's capable of. He just has to realize it himself, which we've said time and time again. But yeah, I think 7 steals tonight. He had 6 steals the last game. He's got some type of Raptor record for that. But yeah, he's a amazing defender. If he can do this in the playoffs, I think is when we need it, because we've got other guys. If we're all healthy, we could do some damage. He's definitely an X factor that everyone needs to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. We didn't see him at all last year in the playoffs, right? So it's always amazing to see who takes that next step in the playoffs. Guys like Van Vliet, come out of their shell and have zero fear. I can see Terrence Davis going to the playoffs and not having any of those, first playoff series jitters. You saw guys in the past like DeRozan go into himself and really fall apart. So hopefully OG can take a page out of Van Vliet's book, No Pose book, and really step up. It'll be massive. Okay, we're going to talk about Siakam. Again, very tough, considering he is also playing, as one of the big men, doing the brunt of the rebounding as well. Considering Ibaka and stuff is gone. Are you at all concerned about him going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I have to say I am. I saw some stats about dynamic duos in the playoffs and their combined point totals in the finals, and Kawhi Leonard and Siakam were right up there. So now this year minus Kawhi, so you're not going to get those points. Siakam's going to need to be that number 1 point getter. I think we've got a lot of guys there that can help out, but I'm not sold on him yet. I don't know what it is with him that's missing. Just something for me is still missing with him. And again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the playoffs comes and he goes after and gets his. But I don't know. It's just like the odd game where all of a sudden it's like a night like tonight where you shot, 1 for whatever it was from 3 and 28% from the field. If that happens in the playoffs, we're in big trouble. Like, it can't happen. He needs to either get to the line or do something else to get his points. So yeah, I'm not sold on him yet.
Yeah, our margin of error going to the playoffs is not like last year. It's not like you lose the first game against Orlando and you recover, you win 4 straight. It's totally fine. I don't think we can do that this year. First round matchup, if we lose 1 game, Siakam has a stinker for 2 games, we're in deep shit. But you know what? I'm not as worried. If there's any guy who is constantly worked his ass off and figure it out, it's him.
That is true.
So yeah, for sure. I think he'll figure it out. The big thing for me is getting his jump shot back. It's been horrible the last 2 games, and even on a period of like 4 or 5 games where he has a good run, his jump shot still kind of suffers. And unless he's drawing people out for spacing. It's going to cut away from his ability to go to the rim and his running game. So I'm hoping he figures it out, and I think he will. Okay, we skipped over Gasol. Let me ask you very quickly. You're Nick Nurse. Gasol's healthy right now. How many games do you give him before the end of the season? Do you give him 5 games just to get his legs going, or do you want him to play this whole time?
I don't know if we necessarily want to play him the whole time. Here's the thing. Boston is there. I think the second seed is super important because you're gonna play a team that's not 500. So right now it's like neck and neck with Boston. So yeah, exactly. So you want to, for me, people have been saying the second or third seed. I don't really want to play Indiana the first round. I'd rather just skip them over and play Orlando or someone like that. So for me, it's a little tough to answer that. I would say you play him as much as you need to, but you don't want to risk not having him in the playoffs because he's been in like some other guys. So it's got to play it by ear a little bit, see what we can do against Boston. About 7 games from now, I think we play Boston.
We got some interesting games coming up, man. There's a Milwaukee home and home.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, okay, we skipped over the Nuggets. No worries. I think we'll have many nights where we'll talk about them from now until the end of the season. Jokic was just incredible today. The guy, he works at his own pace. I feel like he's working in slow motion.
Yeah.
Just super, super effective. And yeah, I think they claimed the second seed today. They tied with the Clips. Who knows, man? They could do some damage going into the playoffs. You have guys like Jamal Murray who probably have matured, a great deal from last postseason to this postseason. So, and they got a deep bench. Like there's not much drop off from their 3, 4, 5, 6 guys down to their 7 and 8.
Yeah, very well rounded.
Anyway, last topic. I don't know if you heard James Harden being interviewed on The Jump. I think it was talking about how Giannis has. It doesn't take much skill at 7 feet to do what he does. He wishes he could just do that without any skill. Your response?
Yeah, I mean, he's an idiot for making comments like that. He needs to think before he speaks. It's very disrespectful to all the 7-footers out there to say there's no skill required. And plus, Giannis obviously does more than that. He shoots threes. He's a dominant player. So to say he has no skill, that's just a stupid comment for someone who's being a little bit ignorant in the situation and not mature. So for a 30-year-old guy to be making a comment like that, he's a little bit of an idiot. Like never would you hear, back in our era, guys like Jordan or, they wouldn't make stupid comments like that. So anyways, I don't want to say I'm surprised. He's a little immature and it is what it is. But I think he's an idiot for saying that.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, so Raptors have 3 pretty easy games, I think, even though they're on the road. Pretty easy, not against any of the elite in the NBA, that's for sure. So I'm gonna call 3 wins in a row. Book it before that Utah game. I'm gonna say Siakam gets 30 plus in 2 of those games. One of the things we didn't talk about is. I can't remember where I read it, but there is a purposeful strategy by Nurse to force feed the ball to Siakam. He's talked about that, the stretch between now and the end of the season, just to give him as many looks as possible and to get him completely prepared for those crunch time moments, going to the playoffs. So, you know what? We may see a stinker like we did today, but we're probably going to see, some big games from him coming up soon. And I think all these games build into that wealth of experience he'll have going into the playoffs.
Yeah, so, man, this is the home stretch here. This is the home stretch. So let's see what he can do and then get him prepped for playoffs.
All right, man. We will we'll end it at that. But we're gonna call 3 wins in a row before that Utah game and see how they do, and we'll call it a night. Good night. Right. God bless.
Peace.
Sweet.